Sorry, we've been recording for 3 minutes.
Ryan.
Oh, yeah, this is the podcast, by the way. What? I mean, we're already in it, right?
Yeah. Jeez.
Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
Together we are.
Ryan and John.
On the couch, as always, Kara Tafoya,
Psychotic energy.
Annie the Scove Scoveman.
Chef.
Energy psychotic.
Always fresh, never frozen. Let me ask you something, John.
Go ahead.
You get $1 million.
Uh-huh.
$1 million. That's a lot of
This
money.
feels like a thing we've already done.
But,
Welcome to the podcast.
ready for this? Bluetooth for you never works ever again.
Sure. I'm a fan of the hardwired anyways.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan. Well, this is probably...
You're not doing the AirPods these days?
Well, he does
I
AirPods.
do
You're not doing-
AirPods, but I could very easily use wired headphones.
What about AirDrop? You're AirDropping things, man.
I hadn't considered
My
that.
AirDrop is broken half the time. So
I thought
Yeah,
AirDrop
that's kinda
AirDrop
true.
works through Wi-Fi, by the way, also.
Does it?
Yes.
Annie, you taking that deal? No Bluetooth?
$1 million. I'll freaking go off the grid, live in a hut. Like
For
the
$1 million?
Unabomber, $1 million.
That's not even enough to like set you up for 10 years.
That gives me such a good reason to run away from all my problems.
Okay.
It's like,
See,
sorry,
I knew-
this
I
deal
knew
came
there
up
was
and I
something we were
have
missing out of
to,
this.
I have to leave and I have to go off the grid, but I get $1 million. But that is why I can no longer run my business. Sorry. Yeah. 1,000%.
It's always
Did
about
the
avoiding work
Unabomber
with
live
you.
in a hut?
Yeah, that's where they found him. I touched it when it was at the museum, and there it said, "Don't touch," and I went, "Touched."
That was the museum.
Arrest her ass.
Yeah.
Arrest her.
Get her.
Arrest. I also touched the Lynchburg baby kidnapping ladder. Touched. Don't give me a sign that says "Do not touch" because that just makes me want to touch it more.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Huh. All right, well, show over. Thanks for listening.
didn't ask
why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do that?
Because I feel like I'm always like pushing the
No,
conversation.
you didn't say anything.
And you guys kind of, when I
By
let
the way,
the air
Amen.
go.
We're 2 minutes in.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Kara, you didn't even give Kara the opportunity to ask if she was
Kara.
going to take that
Kara.
deal.
Kara, look at me.
I wasn't even
You
listening.
get
Oh, no.
Okay, show
Damn
over.
it.
Bye.
Show over. You get $1 million, but Bluetooth stops working.
That's fine.
I started
You
research-
answered before I finished the
Yeah,
question.
whatever. Who needs Bluetooth? We grew up without it.
Yeah, but
Hey,
I'm
man,
talking
we grew up
AirPods.
without it.
No, just
back to
plug it in.
Bluetooth- Hold on. Bluetooth in your car?
Just plug it in.
I
Yeah.
have to plug it in
Yeah.
for my Apple Pay
I had
to
a
work
VW
anyway.
Yeah,
bug.
I
I
do have
plugged
to.
everything in.
Here's the...
Take me
Okay,
back
boomer.
to...
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, that was very boomer.
I feel that there's a really magical moment that happens for me
Mm-hmm.
every morning is I wake up before my wife and I want to scroll TikTok, a little doom scroll happening.
Yes.
And I just take a one AirPod and I just pop it in the ear and then I can watch TikTok and it doesn't disturb my sleeping wife.
You
Totally.
could just use wired headphones.
Yeah, but then I'm like,
No.
like I'm saying that it's just
That's true. You
neatly,
always are doing
always
this,
like
but, you know,
unwrapping it and then when I'm done, I'm wrapping it back up again.
And then
like
it's never like when you wrap
it's
it.
always tangled. It's never not happening.
Do they
That's
still
true.
make the headphones where it was like the charger jack?
Yes.
Where it's like you
In
could
fact,
only... You
it's
could
the only
either
one.
listen to headphones or you could or you
Or
could charge your
charge
phone,
it.
but you could not do
That's
both.
that's the only version that you can buy of Apple now is the
Yeah, 'cause there's no
lightning
headphone
cable,
jack
because
or
there is no
anything.
headphone jack. I have a few sets of the original headphone jack
Dongle.
Apple headphones, wired ones.
It's upsetting that they made a dongle for that, you know, because they took away the headphone jack and then they introduced a dongle that
And
was,
then-
oh, you want to charge your phone and listen to music at the same time? Here's this dongle.
and then new dongle is the new iPhones are now USB-C. So all your lightning dongles no longer work
Yep.
when you upgrade past to the iPhone 15.
Which is
so
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I
Do
had
you
to
remember
buy
when
those.
I want off.
they made the like lightning ones? I remember when the iPhone 5 came out and they had the different charger, and I was like, nobody's gonna go with this.
This is not going to
This
catch
is so
on.
dumb.
Yeah.
Why would they change the
And
charger?
now the lightning cable looks so much prettier than USB-C.
Oh, really?
so
I
you're
disagree.
going for pretty, huh?
Yeah.
I
Like a
think
perfect
USB-C
round where the USB-C is like a little off.
No, it's not. The USB-C
Isn't
is
it?
like a perfect oval. It's like curved edges.
I like the roundness.
That's the
Wild.
USB-C right there. Come on.
Wild. This
on.
conversation.
Let me
wild.
see. Let me see.
It's like a perfect oval. It's like
It's
almost
kinda
every-
rectangle-y,
I'll tell you
though.
this, Kara. Almost every single piece of technology that I own that's not my iPhone uses a USB-C.
I know they did the lightning cable because it was Apple's
it's
thing.
the new standard. It's like the new
Yeah.
technical
It will
standard.
be until it stops being
Sure.
convenient for Apple. And
Yeah.
then they'll just be like, actually, USB F.
You know what's so funny is when I was
me.
buying a new laptop after my first laptop that I purchased myself,
Uh-huh.
had all the ports, had like the SD card, the HDMI port, all that. And I like I think it was during COVID, I bought a new laptop, and it was just like the 2 USB-C ports on either side. And now they're going back to all those ports that I had before.
That makes me want to commit
And I'm
crimes.
like, I literally was like, I bought the new laptop with the 4 little USB-Cs, and I have all the stupid little adapters that I need to do everything, because nothing's just
It's so
USB-C
upsetting.
anymore.
No, of course not.
And now they're going back. They're
Of course
going
not.
like they didn't admit it, but all the bloggers were like, Apple realized they made a mistake by taking away all the ports. I'm like, yeah. Well, so we learned something, I hope.
It's like they thought they were going to make a bunch of money off of all the dongles,
Yes.
which they did, but it also just instilled like no freaking brand loyalty. Everyone's just
Well,
like,
and the
why are you-
dongles, I think there's, like I said, there's a huge secondary market for a lot of those things, like cases and stuff. And a lot of the dongles are not good. So it was like you had to find a good one that worked, and sometimes it only worked for a year, and then it would bust, and it was a mess. It sucks.
Hate it. I hate the mess.
Speaking of mess,
Yeah, we got to talk about
our
it.
Supreme Court is messy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So our resident government, Annie, you're kind of, can I just say, kind of a coin flip, kind of a coin toss when it comes to as our government resident person, because I brought up Donald Trump a couple weeks ago, and you were like, I don't know, and you're coming in hot with Supreme Court this week. I just
What
want
do
to
you
bring
mean?
that up.
Okay, so let me clarify. You'll
Give it
never
to me.
know.
Okay. Yeah. No. Thank you.
A person has a lot. I'm like an onion, as Donkey would say, or
You're
Shrek.
brave.
I'm like an onion. I have a lot of layers. And
So
listen,
we're down to the Supreme Court
the
layer.
two-party system don't work.
Yeah. So,
But if
walk
I'm on
me
a
through-
side, Republican.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, I'm a
In
registered
this
Republican.
economy?
Yeah,
Annie,
but listen,
that's
onion
wild.
layers. Don't mean I have to go with everything.
True.
Okay, so walk me through the decision that was
Supreme
made.
Court. Well, there's a couple messiness in the Supreme Court.
Okay, go ahead.
The Supreme Court ruled that Donald Trump has immunity.
Yeah.
He has immunity from any quote unquote like crime he had committed under presidential, it gets kind of swept into like this gray area of like, well, he was a running president. Anything he did,
I believe
past
the
his presidency.
technical wording they used was official acts. Any
official
official acts, he has total immunity. Any unofficial acts, he doesn't have immunity.
Yeah. So there's now gonna have to go into the appeal system where then they're gonna have to look into every single act he got convicted on during the appeal and then judge if that was an official act or not official act when it took place. So it's just gonna muddy the waters and make it take forever.
And we're specifically talking about, I think it's kind of centered around the January 6th election situation, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I feel that
I don't even know the counts.
the yapping, well, they're trying to get him like to be that he tried to swing the election. He can't be reelected because he was interfering with politics is the whole thing.
Yeah.
January 6th.
The January 6th situation.
Got it.
And I feel that running your mouth, yapping is not an official move, right?
Did you see that debate?
True.
Running your
Yapping
mouth.
is running this country right now.
God.
Yappers.
That's what I like. Jumping on Twitter and tweeting out to people doesn't feel like an official presidential move, right? I feel that there's like Trump, the acting president, and then Trump, like the personality. And although that they are, intertwined, I feel that when he's acting out of personal interest, it's not really,
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think what they'll probably try to argue is that when you're president, there really is no unofficial. I think in a lot of ways. Like anytime you're, I'm saying I agree. I'm not saying I agree with this, but I'm saying like a lot of times when you're in a capacity like that, it's like everything you do is like an official thing. It's like an official trip. It's like an official speech. It's, what I'm saying? It's every rally you go to, it's like, oh, it's an official speaking engagement.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I think that will probably get called into play. And like I said, I don't necessarily agree with that.
I feel that the past, I don't even like based on this ruling, I'm not even worried about that stuff. I'm worried more about like the future implications of it. Like, technically speaking, Joe
As
Biden
president.
right now could decide that Donald Trump's an enemy of the state and put a hit out on him from the FBI as an official, like we're protecting our country. And technically, he's like, yep, that's official act.
Well, anyway, might know more on that. Like,
What do you think,
There are
right?
some
I mean-
checks and balances, I imagine, for stuff like that, right? Like, the president can't.
And a
just
lot
be
of
like,
people,
"That guy's the enemy of the
I'll say a
state."
lot of people are freaking out and going like full doomsday with it, but I'm
Okay.
sure it's not that.
So there's this crazy podcast.
Bum,
It's
bum,
not crazy,
bum.
but it's an episode of a podcast called Radio Lab.
Okay.
And it was interviewing this guy who was one of the guys who was like, because the way that our nuclear system works is like if they're gonna, if the president powers off a nuke, there's two different guys who have to turn the keys, and they can't. Where it's set is you can't have one person can't turn both of them at the same time. They're far enough away. It's like two people have to do it in unison.
That's right.
So this guy did all this training in the military to get to this like security clearance, and he gets to like they're like training him, and he goes, okay, well, like, who makes the command? They're like, oh, it comes from this person, it comes from this person, it comes from the president. And he goes, okay, well, who's checking him? And he ended up getting fired from his like standing. He was seen as like, it was seen as like almost like an act of terrorism, his questioning of it. And his whole thing was that worry. He's like, well, who's to say the president doesn't wake up
And have
or
a
like
bad day.
have like a mental break and make this call. And then we are that destroys the world. Like that impacts billions of people. And this one man, like no one's checking him. There's no like three people that have to be like, okay, yeah, like he's in good standing to make this decision. And I remember hearing that, and I was living in DC and like on a bike, like on the National Mall as I'm listening to this podcast, I was like, oh my gosh.
Wait a minute.
Where are the checks and balances?
Who is checking these balances?
The goal would be, the hope would be that, the like cabinet members, the people he put in his like party would, be together
Yeah, I
and,
mean, you have a
justifying
whole
him
thing
and
of
whatnot.
advisors as a president, right? I mean,
Yeah, but you make your own advisors. So, like, let me tell you, if I'm a president, I'm picking Bebo, Biba, and BG because
Are you gonna
they
pick one
all
of us?
because they all are like
That's what she just
yes,
said.
Queen.
Bebo, Bebo, and
us
BG.
three.
Yeah, because
No, if
they're
you want,
gonna be like, yes,
yes
Queen, you're
men,
right.
you're not picking us.
No.
Oh no,
No.
not you guys.
No.
No, I have my yes men being like, it's like the same friends who are like, oh my gosh, he's so into you, and I'm like, I know he's not, but like
And I
the fact
thank
that you're
you
telling me this,
for hyping me
yeah,
up.
he is.
Thank you.
Okay, so you mentioned the debate, and we didn't really talk about it when it happened.
Oh, man.
But now it's come out that
Did you watch it?
immediately, for my mental health, chose not to watch it.
Smart.
I caught a couple of clips
Yeah,
on
sure.
TikTok.
Like we all did, yeah.
There was a heated conversation about whose golf game was better. I feel.
There was like a driving test challenge. Like I would challenge you to a driving test. You wouldn't fail his he would fail his driving test right now. Take a cognitive test. Like
It was
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you finish. Your thought.
so apparently immediately following, the Biden family had a family meeting to discuss the future of, Biden's political career.
Yes.
I'm thinking they went, hey, look, we know it was bad, but he was hanging on.
But it wasn't great.
Now it's a little worse than bad.
Well, and that's what kind of surprised me is, I sat down to watch it and I got 5 minutes in again, and then I had to go do something. And I do plan on watching the whole thing because I do think it's important that we watch it as car accident, like can't look away as it is. I think we need to like watch it as to be informed voters, and make the right decision. I mean, although it does seem like the decision is clear to some people, sure. But yeah, the thing that really struck me is right after all these news networks that are, they're left leaning news networks.
Yeah.
They're not conservative, Fox News, all that. A lot of these very other side of the camp news networks are like, Democrats are meeting about what to do with Biden. And I thought that's kind of very telling.
Because their convention's coming up. The DNC is coming up.
Because they're going
and
what are our options? Because the reality is Biden didn't look great. I mean, neither of them looked great, to be fair.
But I will say, the two of them standing up there, Trump was much sharper than Biden.
Oh,
Trump
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
even just like
Right.
speaking, and I'm not saying that like I love his politics, but like comparatively, like he was like literally addressing Biden, and it would cut to Biden, and Biden's like,
Yeah.
like not
Yeah.
even, it didn't even look like he was like understanding the words being said, which I mean, like the reality is at one point the interviewer was like, how old would you be as a president? How old like basically like we are looking at these two old ass
Yeah, they
people
were
running for
like some of the
president.
questions I heard. I was like, are caught
Yeah,
off.
it was
They're
kind of like
how old?
how old would you be when your
Yeah.
term
Hold
ended?
on.
It's
And
like,
that's
I
kind
would
of the
be
thing that
89, and that is totally acceptable for
sharp as
president.
that's the kind of thing that's like really unsaid, but it feels a little obvious at this point. Like they've both been president. We know how either one of them is going to run the country.
Sure.
Right? It's simply like an optics thing. Like how many, meow meow beans is one president going to get over the other?
I think it was interesting though because, I think these debates are designed for, there's no help. There's no people kind of writing a script or what I'm saying. And both of those guys, they rely on that. They rely on people
Yeah.
around them to help make them look better. And I think the debate is a good. I mean, again, you could argue that the debate is never how it's going to be when they're in office because they are always going to be surrounded by people. But it's a good kind of mental acuity test to go, can you hold your own
Right.
as leader of the free world? And that's
Why-
an interesting piece.
It is crazy. Like we do put so much stock into one person. Like the whole
Which is not supposed to be designed that way.
Right? Like our whole government, the whole point is like there's representatives from each state, and then there's a House representative. Like we have the Senate, and we have all these people in Congress, and then we also have one guy that like.
FDR really changed that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the presidency is really not supposed to, it's supposed to be basically a tiebreaker position. Like they're the leader of our country and they represent us, but it wasn't supposed to be like what president says goes.
Yeah.
Like even you read the Constitution and the Federalist Papers,
Checks and balances.
it's not necessarily at the president. And the same thing with the Supreme Court. You read what the actual Constitution says about the Supreme Court, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
Until the Marshall Court came around and he really like took it up a notch and was like,
Sure.
actually, we're gonna make it this way. We're gonna wear robes. We're gonna do that. Like before that, they were just like,
These guys are
five
gonna-
guys in a room. Like they
Yeah.
weren't, and then they made it bigger, all this stuff. Anyway, but FDR coming in and really taking over, like during the Depression and the war, like that was what really solidified of like the president needs to do all of this stuff.
Sure.
Like the
So
president
he's
says,
looking down,
president
smiling
goes,
on us right now. He's like, "Thank you,
Yeah.
Supreme Court.
Thank
Thanks." Or sorry, looking up at us, going, "Thank you, Supreme Court."
Hey, he's looking down. He did a lot of good. He's running.
You just told me
running
how
and
he
skipping.
freaking ruined our government, our powers and our checks and balances.
because he was so great that
I
everyone
can't-
was like, now I got to live up to FDR.
I can't
Alright.
tell you how much I hate election years, presidential
Oh,
election
absolutely.
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I just
We
it's
need-
so divisive and everything is so like
Thank you. Thank you.
sniping from each
Let
side
me-
of the
let
room.
me-
We were in
It's
San
awful.
Francisco the last time.
Oh, that's right. Moments before starting this podcast.
We were literally in
remember that?
Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco, pretty much the Hillcrest of San Francisco when Biden got
Oh,
elected, and
2020.
it was
yes.
crazy.
November of 2020, and then literally like 3 weeks later, this podcast. Happy 4-year anniversary to this podcast.
Wow. that's
Wow.
so
Not yet. I mean,
Not
this
yet.
year.
November.
We've got a few months going.
Goodness
So.
gracious.
This podcast
Not getting ahead of
was
ourselves.
only in the Biden administration. We've never had this podcast, and
We've never
That
been
is-
wow,
Um,
that's that's
actually
an
not
actual
true.
travesty.
When it
because,
started, Trump was still technically president.
listen, Trump's presidency, and I was thinking about this. Beyond how they actually run a country, the news updates were so much more entertaining when Trump was president.
He had, like,
it was
3
like
speakers
Trump
of the House.
off of Big Macs.
Yeah.
Trump gives up Big Macs for Lent.
Didn't he have
like,
3 White House press secretaries or like 4
Yeah,
of them?
they kept quitting.
Yeah.
and then
Horrible.
and they get fired, and then it would be who was that? Kelly Conway.
Kelly Conway.
Oh,
And it
God.
would be like the pictures of her like weirdly sitting on the like Oval Office texting.
You are
it
going to
was-
give me a Menti B right now.
It was so.
We
the-
did
like
one of our
the
first
lore is so
episodes
good.
was the hard-hitting week of January 6th. We had our
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
right. That was I remember we sat and really talked about how we were going to
Hard hitting.
Yeah.
hard hitting.
Talking about things we didn't know.
still.
That's what we do
I
every
mean, hold on.
Still
Nothing
do.
changes
Welcome to
around
What
here.
the Podcast.
You know,
I don't
so
think
things,
you had to know anything about January 6th to talk about January
things
6th.
we didn't know. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This feels like a.
Yeah. Hawk to a girl didn't get fired.
Thank you.
Wasn't a teacher.
I was right.
She did not
She's
get
just
fired.
some
Factory.
random girl.
I
Yep.
saw the interview.
So there, that's that news. This one shocked the whole world.
Okay.
Charlotte the Stingray has passed away.
Yeah.
This is a sad follow-up.
Yeah.
She was never pregnant.
Reproductive.
It ended up being a reproductive cyst,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that was her demise.
Stingray PCOS.
It sounds like the aquarium
It's so
really
sad.
like
Drop the ball.
in a huge way.
It's
like
so sad.
And when I was watching this
Andy.
creator, no way. I was watching this creator and she was saying that even from the beginning of like this stingray's pregnant, a lot of marine biologists were commenting on this aquarium's post being like, I don't think this is right.
No.
Something's not right. Something's wrong here. And they kept deleting a lot of these professionals' comments because they're like, no. We've had 2 vets check it. And so now there's kind of like I don't know how serious.
Shut down the
but
aquarium.
Like
Shut
an
down the aquarium.
investigation happening around
Okay,
this
but
whole
I
thing.
mean, from their perspective,
Stingray
how-
murders.
Like, can we really trust experts? Somebody jumps in your comment section and they're like, I'm a marine biologist and this isn't right. I'd be like, yeah, okay.
trust no one.
Wouldn't you look at all your
they were
comments
saying-
though and take them
They
into
were saying
account?
that there was a real the big kind of injustice that kind of happened throughout this whole thing is that the aquarium was really playing into this idea that it could be a shark, stingray hybrid, and every scientist was like, that's so misleading. You're an aquarium. You're supposed to teach people how like science works, and there's like literally no way. Like there's absolutely no way that.
So they were just the Barnum and Bailey of aquariums. They
Yeah.
just were swilling out
They
swill.
took all
I
the
like
fame
to
and
think that we've evolved as a society. We haven't. I
What are you
fully was
talking
like,
about?
I can't wait to see that stingray shark baby. That is gonna be so sick. That hybrid shark stingray. I was like, that
You're
is
saying
gonna be
we're the ones
sick.
that haven't evolved.
No, I'm just saying we still fall for that freaking.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm so freaking gullible. I hate it here.
And then there was after they announced in May that she wasn't pregnant anymore.
Yeah.
They still didn't do any follow up about what the mass was, and
the only thing I heard was a tumor,
yeah.
but it ended up
It's
being
not a tumor.
It ended up being
you have to
in the reproductive realm.
Though, like a surgery like that to remove something like that and a stingray is probably so obscure.
Yeah,
like,
like, just go
who
down to the
even
beach,
does
grab another
that?
stingray, throw it in there, say, "Oh, it's Charlotte."
Okay, I wasn't gonna go there, but who even like who? I'm like there's probably nobody that specializes in stingray surgery. I mean, I'm saying that's crazy.
No, there definitely is some kind of marine biologist vet who works on like dolphins and
What?
that kind of stuff.
What, Annie? Go. Say what you
She's
gonna
looking
say.
at Artie.
Arthur is so cute right now, and the camera can't see him.
Oh, yeah,
but
he's
he
sitting
is,
next to me.
He's like snuggled
don't
up,
move
Next to me.
Don't-
There you go. There he is.
snuggled up next to Johnny. So cute.
Now the audience gets to see my lower half. Great. Love that.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's stuck that.
Hey, don't just
great.
leave it there.
What?
It's not. You have to move it up,
Okay, we need to have a production meeting after this episode
and then you need to.
There.
And then can
about
you half tap
moving
it so
the
it's-
cameras.
I need to get those motorized gimbals. I can just all from the center table.
He's seriously so cute. I can't handle how cute this dog is.
Yeah, he hung out with you yesterday, so he's just really happy he's with us. He could have ended up in any family, and he ended up with us.
I did. I bullied the dog.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hashtag dog abuse. I'm just kidding.
Okay, we can cut
transition.
that,
Hit a
right?
transition
Oh,
for me.
sorry.
I started watching a very old show, and I know that doesn't surprise you, but I started watching The Crown, and I know you guys watch The Crown.
Yes.
I-
Season 1 and 2, I think.
Love it.
I didn't
can't-
follow up on it.
I can't get enough of it. And you know what
Yes.
watching The Crown is like? It's every 5 minutes Googling if that event
Did this
actually
really happen?
happened.
Did this really happen?
And what so surprised me is that it's Prince Philip, right? Technically, because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not a king.
Yeah.
He was in charge of Queen Elizabeth's coronation. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it was like a big deal because I guess it was like another family that had done it for like literally 100 years. Like their family always organized the coronation for, what royals. And she had him do that. I thought that was so interesting.
Well, she kind of
I'm
felt
so
bad.
glad
She
you're
was
on
like,
board, John.
"You really gave up your own kingdom for this." So
Yeah.
It's
you can,
crazy,
like play my
too.
party.
But he was kind of a POS, right?
Oh, we hate him.
Oh, he
yeah,
was,
we hate
Enemy
him.
of the state.
In the series, there's not even like a moment where you like him. He's
No.
kind of a POS from the beginning.
From
I
the
haven't
beginning.
watched it.
Oh, it's so good.
And that's
Here's-
how he was in real life.
yeah. Well, you
IRL.
told the story, and we're not Prince Philip stands. We're
No, never.
Prince
I got
Philip
so attached to the first girl that played the queen that when it switched, like in season 3 or 4 or something, I was kind of like, oh. Like,
Yeah,
I was like
she's
so
good.
invested with the characters. But then I think after that, it becomes like Olivia Colman, doesn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
So maybe I'll go back and rewatch. I do love her.
It switches
was
because
so
she's like
interesting.
aging, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I kind of wondered
wants
how
to
they were
age?
gonna. I wondered how they were gonna do that because you can't.
oh,
cover
sorry,
s-
spoilers.
You can't cover 70 years of.
Oh, and they're doing it.
I mean,
well, now they're up to date, right? Now they're doing like Harry and
Harry stuff.
They already did Diana. Yeah.
Oh man,
They're-
so cool. It's so cool, and I think we love it so much because they're so like the royal family is typically very secretive.
I don't know. I read that book, The Spare.
Well, okay, yeah, but that came out like 2 years ago.
My penis. What did he say?
God.
Right? Something about his penis.
Yeah.
Okay, so love that. Talking about shows, John. Are you you watching The Bear?
I need to, and I'm going to starting today,
The
Really? I
Bear.
thought you were really busy today.
later today when I get
Okay,
home.
thank you.
So,
I stay
what
up
makes
pretty
you feel better? Most episodes, like 30 minutes. Quick.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Oh, it's very bingeable.
I heard.
I will tell you
season
that.
3 is pretty good from all the
It's.
accounts.
Oh.
Season 3 is great. You have to. So you haven't seen season 1 and season 2.
Oh.
You got a lot of great show to watch, John.
good.
A lot
To
of
go
great
back
show.
and start that show from the top again.
Really?
Yes.
I have to because everyone keeps raving about it. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, what could be so good about it? But I'll let the show teach me.
so
Let the show
good.
tell you. That's all I'll say. Maddie Matheson is a big deal.
Yeah.
Just ask Andy
Oh,
about that one.
really?
Yeah, he's in
I
it.
love him.
He's in it?
Yeah, he's in it.
He's one of like the executive
producer.
producers. It's not based on him, but he used a lot of his own life experience.
He's
in it.
pretty funny.
He's
Yeah,
amazing.
he's hilarious.
He is so funny.
He's one of the funniest people ever.
His
Loves
ahead.
Maddie.
character's name is
Go ahead, Amy.
Maddie. I know
Their
you're
last name
watching
is
this.
Fack.
Hey, no spoilers. Fair.
Fack.
That's their last name.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen the show either,
Facts.
Annie.
No, I just watched that one episode halfway with you guys.
Probably best that you
depressing
don't
episode.
watch it. You're kind of a feeler, so
A spiraler.
yeah.
Oh, I watched last night when I was sitting upstairs alone.
Hold on.
With Artie.
Rewatch. Say you got to say rewatch.
No, I'd not rewatch. I'd never seen it.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's something new.
But I'd seen a lot of clips of it. Get the mosquito care. It's bitten me 3
God.
times.
This
3
show
times.
for the audio listeners.
Poor mosquito.
There's just a mosquito. The video watchers
hate
probably
you,
can't
John.
see it either. There's just
I
a
literally
mosquito.
screw you.
It's so annoying.
It's just 4
Gosh.
angles of 4 idiots going. What?
Oh my god.
It's so annoying.
Just let it do its thing. Hey guys, it deserves.
Kinda
Annie,
avant-garde.
Annie, it's your time.
No,
Annie, it's your
dude.
time. Go slow and just tap it.
Come back at minute 31 if you want to be rid of this mosquito bit.
3, 2, 1. Get Annie!
Slow? Why would you go slow?
Why
gotta
would you
slap
go
it.
like this? That doesn't make any sense.
Did you grab it?
Damn it.
Oh
Annie,
my
I
god!
want you
Catch
to
and
know-
release! Catch and release!
No, don't tell me.
Okay, got it. Heard.
This is a great time to remind
our
viewers,
Patreon.
listeners. Oh, it's behind you.
It's dying.
Oh,
it's
it's
dying.
dying.
It's dying. It's dying.
We've hit it hard
let
enough.
It die. Let it die.
For $4 a month,
Did you get it?
can actually support this show. Oh, thank you. Turn the on-air sign on.
I hate it here.
189 episodes.
Did you get
Never
it?
gets easier.
I think you
I'll tell you
did.
that much.
It never does.
Speaking of hyperfixations, John, tell us about
Good.
your bread
Oh my
phase.
gosh.
I mean,
Okay.
your bread hobby. Look,
All right,
I'll
listen.
I'll repeat what I said in the car
I didn't
to
even talk
my
about this
sister.
sad movie.
Okay.
In this house, we support new hobbies.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know what? Even if it's for a short time, if it's for a long
We
time.
talked about it last week a little bit. My grandpa passed away, and my grandpa was gadget guy, much like myself. He loved
Yes.
kitchen gadgets. He loved cooking. He actually really loved baking too. So he had a bread machine, which I've so my sister-in-law got a bread machine for Christmas, and she's like in it. She loves it, and so I go to my parents. There's like literally the picnic table is full of like panini makers, like a bunch of Ninja like pizza grills, smokers, all this stuff.
Oh wow.
And my
You're
dad's
having a
like,
field day.
My dad's like, whatever you want. You guys have to figure out like who wants what. And so one of the things was a bread maker. And at first I was like, I don't know. Like, who needs another kitchen gadget, you know? And then I was like, it could be kind of fun. Like if I don't like it, I could just,
Get rid of it.
get rid of it or whatever. And
Sure.
it does kind of seem. And my sister-in-law has all these. I've been over there a couple times where like she's making bread and it smells amazing in the house. And then she like pops it out and she's got like normal bread, and
Yeah.
it's great because you really don't have to do anything. I just put all the ingredients in this little thing.
Cup of flour, cup of
and-
water, little
yeah,
salt.
and then I just click start and it mixes it.
Wow.
Lets it rise. It like punches it down, which is like a little bread baking term, and then it lets it rise again, and then it bakes it all there. And so I was like, I'll give it a try, and I did, and it's actually really fun.
Next, you have to make pizza dough.
Pizza. So yeah, that's the thing. You can make dough in it.
My dad
can
makes
make
pizza dough.
Pizza dough. You can make cinnamon roll dough. Like it also does a bunch of doughs. It doesn't just just bake bread.
Cake?
And, I don't know about that actually.
Could you combine two of your hobbies?
Cake.
Cinnamon roll,
bread maker,
bread loaf.
cake.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and so it's been a lot of fun, and I can't help but think of my grandpa every time I make
That's
a
so
bread loaf
sweet.
because my grandpa loves that crap, and so it's kind of like
He's like, I didn't make bread for
He's
the
like,
past
I didn't
50
use that
years.
thing
I haven't
one
used this
time.
thing."
there was like breadcrumbs in there, so he had used it because my dad's like, did he even use it? Because there were some appliances that like still had
Brand new.
the manual inside and wrapped up, and because he just loved it. He had an ice cream machine. He had all like a one of those rice cookers where you could leave it in there for multiple days and it keeps it warm and fresh, and like just a lot of little things. And I've been telling, I don't know if I told you, but I've been looking at buying a crock pot because I want to do like slow cooked meals.
You don't have a
kinda
crock
fill it
That's
all
the
pot?
most
in.
American thing ever.
I
A crock
don't.
pot.
Well, I do now because Grandpa had a ton of crock pots.
Crock pots. Oh my gosh, the easiest meal: curry chicken.
Yeah,
You freaking plop some
that's what I'm
chicken
saying.
breasts and just pour like curry sauce in it.
Yeah.
Let it go all day.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal. And so,
So
yeah,
good.
it was that.
I feel like I'm going crazy a little bit. We had a whole conversation about crock pots.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, right? Like when we were talking about meal prep, I was like, John, you got to get this crock pot. We made chili in the crock pot.
Yeah, see, I've been thinking about it because I was like, again, it's one of those big kitchen gadgets. So I'm like, do I go out and spend, $30 to $50 on this big crock pot? Am I going to use it? And I just kind of go back and forth. And then when all that was all there, I was like, oh, there's a crock pot right here.
Yeah, I guess that's compelling. When it's right there in front of you,
And
you're
it's
like,
free.
it's free.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah, I'll
worst
take
case scenario, like I said, I'll get rid of it. But the bread maker it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I can't help but also just like, it's kind of part of, it sounds so stupid, but it's been kind of helping me grieve a little bit. My grandpa, like I like just putting like letting
Making
it bake
bread.
and my grandpa did that a ton. I mean, he didn't do it a lot in the last couple of years, but when my grandma first died, he like leaned into baking because I think it's how he was like coping with my grandma. And so there's many times I went over there and he had like a bread loaf and he was like cutting it open and he was like, try the sourdough. He was like all into it.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's kind of in a very, very small way. It's kind of healing for me. So
They
it's
say
been fun.
like your strongest memory is like scent based. Like you have a strong
interesting.
In your brain. You have like, let me form an entire thought.
yeah.
You have a strong memory connection to smells. Like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
supposedly they've done tests and they're like, yeah, people.
That makes sense. I mean, like
Yeah.
I said, and I think also just like it's so fun, like the gadgets. It's again, my grandpa is such a gadget guy, and I honestly I am too. As much as I want to say I'm not, I am, and so
I mean, some people aren't. Apparently, this 72-year-old man in Florida was just arrested because he shot down a Walmart delivery drone. Did you hear about that? He thought he was under surveillance from the government. It was a Walmart delivery drone.
That's the most Florida thing ever.
Florida man
Nice.
at it again.
But he probably was under surveillance from Walmart.
You guys, I want to go to Florida.
Oh,
Okay,
Said
that's a
no
good
one
spot
ever.
to end.
They have
Said
the
no one ever.
best. They have the best beaches to go shelling.
oh, they do.
They
It's a
have
shelling beach.
the most gorgeous shells.
I do actually hear
Gorgeous.
that.
Gorgeous.
I want to go so bad.
You want to do the Disney thing? Drink around the world?
Oh God,
Oh,
no!
I wanna do
Disney
that.
World. This would be fun.
In Disney World, they've got Epcot, and
We
they've
gotta
got
we
all
gotta
of
do
the
that.
little countries, right? And people always post their
so it
videos.
sounds like we're going to Florida for the shells, obviously.
Well, we're gonna go for the shells, stay for the drinks.
Stay for the drinks.
Yeah, of
I can go to
course.
Florida. Yeah, that's
Annie was trying to sign something to me earlier. What were you trying to say?
Happy 4th of July.
Oh, happy 4th of July.
4th of July.
You were saying like fourth down.
It said,
You
is
kept
this
saying
coming
fourth
out
down?
on the 4th?
America's coming
Is
down
this
on
coming
the
out
4th.
on the 4th?
I thought you were
And
saying,
I
like,
do the math.
ground
It said,
floor,
Happy
ground
4th
floor?
of July.
Yeah.
Everybody
Wow.
go around and tell me your 4th of July resolutions.
Okay,
God.
this
In-
is Annie's thing.
In
not
my
a
friend
thing.
group, we don't do New Year's resolutions. That's way too soon. We decided to just hold off till 4th of July.
Wouldn't it
About 6 months into the year, you now really realize what you want to do.
Yeah.
So about 4th
But
of
isn't
July
it
is
a
when you
year
really-
from the next time you do a resolution? So isn't that basically the same thing?
Yeah, it's-
It lasts for the 6 months, and then New Year's is when it resets, and you go, well, now I have to
Oh,
figure
I
out what
see.
I
You're
you're
want to
just
do this
deciding-
year.
I see.
You're deciding that New
So
Year's.
New
No,
Year's
New
isn't
Year's
a
is when you
reset.
start searching for your 4th of July resolution.
Okay, but you're saying the reason you created this is because New Year's is too soon to the reset. So you're saying January is the reset of the year.
No.
No, That's what I'm saying is if every year
If you
do it
can't
at the same
understand
time.
the logic, just get out of the kitchen, okay? So what's your 4th of July
That's not,
resolution?
by the way, not nearly close.
I'm going
to-
to take a hard
It is.
stance.
If you
and I'm
can't
not
understand
going to
the logic-
I'm not going to come
Shut
up with the 4th
up,
of July, New Year.
Okay, I'll
whatever.
think of one.
4th of July resolution.
I'm not interested. Thank you.
4th of July
That's not
resolution.
how this works.
Annie,
if this
you don't,
country has
you don't
shown
get
you
to make
anything,
something up and then make us all
that's
make
what
resolutions
4th of
for
July
it.
is about.
No, it's-
we decided that we're
it's
going to make
not-
something
it's
new.
not,
When the
We're gonna
founding
find
fathers,
independence. We're gonna
made this country.
make a new country.
Yeah.
We don't need the constructs of the Queen. I know
getting
you
this?
love the Queen
Are we
because
getting
you
he's
love
a big
the
fan of the
crown.
Queen.
All right, I just want to make
I
sure we
just
got
say,
this.
Hold on.
God bless America. I
just want a hot
Eagle
dog.
screech. Eagle screech.
You know,
Someone
you know,
Exactly.
You know what I want? The
Yeah,
question I
go,
want to answer
John.
is, what's your favorite 4th of July food?
Okay,
How
we can
about
answer
that?
both. We can answer both.
Not
Popcorn.
not my stupid half-year resolution thing. That
No,
you-
no,
Revolution.
You're thinking of the
That's what
American
the
Revolution.
country
but also
is.
resolution.
New Year's Revolution, we can call it.
Bean dip.
Okay, that's just
My
not
father's
American.
bean dip.
Okay. Yeah.
Your father's.
Yes.
You say that's not American? Okay, we got to
what I
erase this.
meant.
Hold on, wait. Got her. Wait.
Olivia's face.
Hold on.
Olivia's off camera.
It's the first time she's perked up,
One
and
second.
I know
That's not
something's
like
wrong.
bean dip's not like one of the go-to 4th of
Hold on
July
one second.
foods.
7-layer bean dip.
Hey Annie, this
Got
is
her.
subjective. We all get to decide
That's
what
so
we
true.
think.
You know what?
It's a
Let
freaking
the
great
record show.
American melting pot. So when my people came from Mexico, we brought bean dip. Okay,
You know what?
racist.
God
We
bless.
built
You're
this
right.
country.
You're right. Let me check my heart.
Bacon wrap
It's
hot
checked.
dog.
My bad. Bean dip, 7-layer bean dip.
Bacon wrap hot dog.
A bacon wrapped hot dog.
Bomb.
That's fair.
Even
enough.
Olivia's like, what?
Fair enough.
Okay, bacon
Producer
wrapped
of the
hot
show,
dog. Do you
Luis
ever
Foya,
put
just
the
off camera.
bits?
Bacon wrapped
Do you ever
hot dog?
put the
You guys have
bits
bacon
of the
wrapped
bacon
hot
wrapped hot dog into
Sure.
the bean
We
dip?
did. Okay, we did a couple days ago at Cooper's birthday
No.
party. I don't know if
What makes the
that's
bean
going to
dip so
happen at
good?
our 4th of July party.
Because it's 7 layers and it's delicious.
Does he buy this from the stores? That's the one you get.
No,
at
no,
the
you
store?
No,
make
he
it.
makes
You make
it.
Could you imagine?
He's like my
All these
famous
years he's been
bean dip.
like taking it out
No,
of the
he
container.
makes
What
That
is
would
it.
make so
Yeah.
much sense, actually.
He makes it
No,
and
it's
he
like
adds like
beans
different
and
layers
sour
every year.
cream and
He like switches it out
salsa
and changes
and
it up
cheese
every
and-
year.
Okay, I love that.
Okay, my
Now
turn.
that's
Okay, my
fun.
turn.
For wholesome,
That's
right there.
fun because then it's like I wonder what's going to be in the deep bean dip this
Exactly.
year. Okay, I can get that.
But it's
That
still
is
not American, but it's fun.
No, that's American.
Yes. Yeah.
Change in evolution, American.
My
Love.
favorite 4th of July food, my mom makes this Jell-O cake.
Oh,
really
So
I'm gonna need you
bomb.
I'm
guys
really
to
looking
really
forward to it.
I'm imagining like a Jello mold with like
No.
chunks of cake.
Okay,
No,
so
no.
basically you make a cake, but then you put it in the fridge and you like mix Jell-O, like you get Jell-O, a Jell-O packet, you mix it up so it's just like liquid.
You don't make
you
it
pour it
gelatinous.
over the cake, so it gets
Oh,
all
so
kind of like
it's moist.
ooey gooey cake,
Okay.
and you put like
It's so good.
you put a layer
Whipped
of
cream.
whipped cream and pudding on it.
you do for sure. You're going
It's
right.
so good.
Yeah, that's playing.
My mom normally makes a trifle,
A trifle, that's true.
which is kind of the same as Jello cake. It's like the layers of like white
No,
cake
I wouldn't
and
say
then
so. No, I wouldn't say so.
well,
It's completely different.
Okay.
It's like fruit and ladyfingers and
and whipped cream, lady fingers. What?
beef sauteed
Yeah.
with peas and onions. You haven't seen
Whoa.
it? Is
Friends.
a show called
The Friends
Ever heard of
trifle. All right, end the episode.
it? John,
Wait, Ryan hasn't.
go ahead, John. I said
haven't-
Jello
you haven't
cake.
gone
Oh,
either.
and my 4th of July resolution. I feel like I'm living
you.
it out.
Thank you.
Summer fun. I'm talking like going on little mini road trips.
Mini road trip.
I'm not going to say when specifically I went on this mini road trip.
No, we wouldn't dare.
John, go ahead.
Annie, have you
4th
gone?
of July food. No, go ahead. What's your food? Oh,
I'm stuck between two. Okay, I'm stuck between two. As a kid, it was like we'd swim all day, and then all of a sudden we'd come out, and this isn't really like a. I mean, it's not like a prepare. You don't have to prepare it, but like cold watermelon. You just slice
yes,
up
I was
cold
going to say
watermelon.
cold watermelon too.
That was great. But also in the last probably 10 years, my aunt makes a buffalo chicken dip that is
Yum.
so good.
I had that last year. That was bomb.
That sounds like a
Love.
Super Bowl food.
It is,
Which
but
I
it,
guess
you know,
Super Bowl
kinda
is kind of
happens-
4th of July.
Yeah,
It kind of is 4th. It's like the second 4th of July.
feel
She
like it's
made
more
it for
hot
4th of
foods.
July like 7 years ago, and now it's kind of like a every major holiday. 'cause
Wow.
It's so
Buffalo dip.
Mine.
Go ahead,
Thank you
Annie.
for asking. A burnt hot dog, like the like
Yes.
it's been on the
Quick
Charred.
like charred. It's like it has a little
I'd
like
agree
crisp
with that.
bite
That's the
when you
only
bite
way
into
I like
it.
hot dogs.
Yeah, same.
That
crispy.
is.
Little
Actually, not
burnt
true.
hot
I'll eat
dog.
a raw hot dog out of the
And
fridge.
mac
Ugh.
salad.
What's your resolution?
My 4th of July resolution. Thank you. I've been thinking about it a lot. I think my 4th of July resolution for this year is going to be I want to move my body more. Like, I just want to find something that I like doing that.
I think that was mine.
That was certainly my New Year's resolution.
Go ahead. No, but go ahead.
Don't know how I'm doing with
But, like,
that.
I
Maybe we
just
need
think,
to
like,
reset.
from here to the end of the year, I just want, I want to go on more walks. I want, I live right down by the water.
Which it's
I wanna go
summertime,
on
so it'll
bike
be
rides.
easier.
Yeah, I want to go swimming. I really want to go like I'm thinking about getting a membership with a pool again and swimming and doing laps like back in the day.
Love. Like back in the day, your water polo days.
Yeah.
You gonna join a local league? You think?
No.
You
God,
have
kill me.
recently, like, quite a few times, been like, we should go to your parents and swim. And I was like, Annie, you like swimming?
I love swimming.
Oh,
If I could just live in water, I would. #mermaid.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll echo move more. You echoing that, John?
Yeah, I'm echoing that, of course.
Now we have summer bingo lists, and that's different. That's a
True.
bingo to do.
I do need to fill up my bingo card.
We
a
have
lot
to
of
go
great stuff on there.
surfing. We're going to the fair tomorrow. The fair! Speaking of crazy food to eat, we're going.
I'm so
ham
ready.
at the fair.
Absolutely
Get ready
ham.
for the vlog that's going to be coming out of what the podcast takes the fair.
Probably
The
you'll see the vlog before you see
You'll
this
see
episode.
that before this,
actually.
but so go
that's fine.
back if you're looking at
Will
this
you?
and it's
No.
Thursday.
Vlog's going to come out first?
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Because I'm just
Annie's
gonna put
gonna
it
do it
on
on
the
the
Instagram.
Instagram
Oh,
story.
You're just gonna
I
do
thought you were gonna, like,
stories.
make a
Got it.
vlog.
No, it's literally.
Oh, are you gonna
So
vlog
you're just
tomorrow?
going to Instagram.
Yeah.
Are you gonna vlog tomorrow?
Yeah.
Are
Okay.
you gonna vlog tomorrow?
End the
I don't
show.
know.
Just end it.
Okay, guys, join us in the post show. We're gonna talk about some beeps and bops and all kinds of fun stuff.
Maybe Olivia will come on.
Probably.
Yeah,
not.
she's knee
gotta-
deep in a
she's gotta-
craft.
She's over there freaking
Oh,
doing the work.
Wow,
so
that's
nice.
I'm
American.
so impressed. I keep watching her and getting distracted because it's so interesting.
Yeah.
You're like,
It kicked
Betsy
up pretty
Rossen
quickly.
over
Betsy
there.
Ross over there.
Betsy
All
Ross.
right. That's about it for What the Podcast. Hey, everybody out there, we just want you to have a great summer and
safe
maybe
4th of July.
maybe comment below your half of the year resolutions.
that's sweet.
And would you take $1 million for no Bluetooth?
Really?
On the couch as always, Kara Tafoya, Annie the Scoveman. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
We'll see you next week on
What
the
the
Podcast. Did you like that full circle moment?
That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Right?
Sure.
'Cause
You don't
remember,
have to bring it up.
remember
after
earlier?
You did it.
No, I'm saying it's a full
It's a-
circle.
it's called a
like a
Uh-huh.
callback.
Yeah.
It's called a callback.
Yeah.
A
In
lot
the
of
biz.
great
In the biz, it's called a
directors
callback.
do that in movies.
Like Maxine, there'll probably be some callbacks.
Oh,
in
you think
Maxine.
there's gonna be some
Talk about
callbacks in that?
Maxine.
Can't
Damn
wait.
it.
Can't wait.
Not
So good.
wait.
Oh, Audie, you're so cute.